Hi there everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I am going to be reading out discussing some Star Stable hot takes, which is a little bit different from what kind of I usually do, I guess. But I need to train a bunch of my horses, and I feel like what better way to do it than to distract myself with some hot takes. Some background, I was just kind of like scrolling Reddit and I was like, hang on a minute, why not kind of look at some of the interesting things that people have to say or interesting opinions people have on Star Stable. 𝘂𝗲𝗀𝗃𝗃 said that they think we don't need any male player models because boys/men already have plenty of games made for only them, and they like the idea of how Star Stable is quote unquote made for girls. I totally agree with this, like absolutely 100%. I think that Star Stable is obviously marketed at like girls, young adults, girls, and I think I've been aware of men who've played Star Stable, you know what I mean? Like it's not like they can't play as a female character, like they can, and they have, and I feel like it really doesn't affect anything. And I feel like a lot of the comments under this hot take were agreeing because of the kind of like general sisterhood vibe and everything of Star Stable, and I'm pretty sure that's weird. It's like the Sisters of AD or something, isn't it? Jeez, I am so bad with the Star Stable lore. That's like not good at all. Yeah, but I completely agree. I feel like there are so many games marketed at young men and whatever, with, you know, only male characters being available. If it's a whole entire part of the storyline, if the angle is, you know, that it's about like a sisterhood and, you know, it's kind of about girl power and whatever, I feel like that's completely acceptable. Like, the men will live. I don't know. 𝘂𝗲𝗃𝗃𝗃 also said that they reckon Gen 3 horses are far better than the past generations because they hated the cartoonish and pixelated style. I'm gonna be honest, I think this is like a double-edged sword. I think that's the expression. I feel like you're allowed to like the nostalgia and stuff, like the nostalgic aspects of like anything, right? Fair enough. I feel like at the end of the day, you need a kind of balance of, oh, I don't even know. I feel like you can't be too harsh on the stylistic horses though, because I really like them. I don't know. I feel like a balance is good because completely realistic horses, I feel like at some point they'll all just kind of blend together as one. Because, for example, like the �々𝗀𝗀𝗪𝗀 and the Hanoverians, you know, people complaining about the similar gates. That's what you're gonna get though. If you are like pushing the team for, you know, more, and I can see that how they're going for that now, with more realistic like horse breeds and more realistic animations and everything. But yeah, exactly, that means at some point they are gonna start melding together, because for example, warm bloods in real life, you can't really tell the difference between breeds based on just gaits. Like, you seriously cannot at all. They're so incredibly similar, and it's really not, like, that's what you're gonna get. So I feel like having a stylistic break in there every so often, like when they release magic coats and everything too, I feel like that's needed, because you just need, like, at the end of the day, it is like a fantasy game, you know? So I don't know, I feel like they've got a pretty solid balance going on right now. And as long as they keep the old horses, I feel like there's absolutely nothing wrong with, you know, all the new horses being added. I guess I agree, because I feel like the direction they're moving in is pretty solid. 𝘂𝗲𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 said, quote unquote, the updated character models are better than the old ones. However, I do wish we had more thin/muscular models as well as male characters. See, this is where it starts to get a little bit, I feel like I do agree with that, I guess. I really don't think you can ever go wrong with adding more like body types to anything, right? Because I feel like that'll just help people feel seen and whatever, and that'll make just like the overall playing experience better, because it's like, oh, that actually looks like me, you know? I used to think that they should have added a much thinner like body type, or you know, they should have gone for the kind of not much thinner, but like a little bit like slimmer, right? But then at the same time, you've got to kind of keep an eye on, I feel like you've got to kind of be careful that it's not gonna make people feel insecure or anything. So I feel like what they've got going on now is good. I feel like the body types they've got now are relatively solid. I think a lot of people complain, but people always find reason to complain, and I feel like the body image, I would prefer the characters to, you know, not pump their elbows so much in the canter, and I would prefer that little things like that are fixed, or the way the horses jump, or, you know, I'd prefer things like that to be fixed rather than things like the body type, because I feel like they've got a good like handle on it, I feel. The next hot take is one by, oh, this is tricky, I'm trying to multitask here, doing a terrible job. The next hot take is submitted by FairyCat13, and FairyCat13 says SSO should expand their horse-related gameplay beyond only racing. I don't know how much their old engine can handle, but if they want to stay relevant, they really should take a School of Dragons approach and give their players more things to do other than buying a new horse, dressing it up, and racing around. I actually did play School of Dragons for a while, like SOD, and I'm not gonna lie, I haven't played it in like a hot minute, but I did definitely play it. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think it was that great, but I also didn't get like too much into it, so I can't really be like a fair judge of this. And I'm gonna be real, I completely agree. I think there's a huge emphasis on kind of racing, and I feel like the storyline just isn't as fleshed out as it could be. You know, like they, I'm pretty sure they got rid of just like I think, what is it? Like the 𝗀𝗲𝗀𝗪 storyline in Dino Hills and Dino Hill Valley. And I'm pretty sure they were like the, you know, the native people of Dinosaur Valley. And so I feel like they should flesh out things like that rather than that kind of, you know, world building type quests. Like, we need to understand how 𝘄𝗵𝘁 came to be. I feel like we don't have much of a history. Like, we've got the kind of like soul riders and we've got like the magic aspect of it, but there's not much substance, I guess, in like any other aspect. I feel like, you know, we should have some story about like 𝘄𝗵𝘁 City Mall, or just like 𝘄𝗵𝘁 City period, or there should be more to do there, you know what I mean? Or like the emphasis on racing and training and everything does bother me a little bit, because at the end of the day, I don't really want like new races or anything. I feel like there are so many already. It is already so easy to level up your horse. I feel like that's the problem though, it's just too repetitive. Like for me, even though I know it's easy to level up your horse, I just cannot get myself to do it, because it's just like, it's just time consuming. Even though it's a lot quicker than it was, it's still time consuming, and you're just doing the exact same races over and over again. Like, it's really not, for me, it's not interesting enough to like keep me engaged in it. I don't know. So for me, there was one more, that was kind of it from the Reddit threads, but I had one like personal one, and it was that I actually did prefer the old kind of like user interface. Like all of these like little, you know, when it was all blue, like how we had the original UI, I preferred that so much. I feel like sometimes people will just, or like companies, whatever, will just update something for like change's sake, rather than making it more convenient, or you know, actually like changing something because it was annoying in the past or whatever. And I feel like Star Stable just kind of did that with this, like, and especially because it's angled towards, you know, older players who, you know, are generally going to lean towards liking the nostalgic aspects of it, and then younger people who just like, who might not care as much about the way this kind of stuff looks. I feel like it's just a little bit like, it just felt odd. I don't know, because I came back from, you know, because I had like several breaks, and I feel like I was absolutely shocked. I was like jarred, because I wasn't aware that they would be changing it. And I'm not gonna lie, I liked it. You know, I liked having the bar down here with like how far along you were. And I feel like this just looks, it looks a little bit clinical. It would have been cool if they would have updated it so that you could, you know, change the colors or something instead. So you could, like, you know, customize the interface a little bit rather than making it this kind of like medical, like, I don't know, it's just very, very like, I feel like younger people aren't as inclined to care about this kind of like these graphics, these graphic aspects, you know, they care more about the like gameplay and the horses and the way the character looks and everything. So I feel like it's just a little bit, doesn't really make sense to me. But then I had a couple more like not hot takes, recent favorite updates. I just found a thread, and so one of them was Star Stable lowering the cost of changing a horse's name, and I will say I was incredibly appreciative of that. Like, I was trying to change the name of a horse maybe like 2 months ago, and I was absolutely shocked at how expensive it was. It was like an insane, I can't remember what the amount was. It was crazy though, and I'm pretty sure I've got to check, hang on. Ooh, I can't see anything. 65. Yes, that's right, it used to be 130. It was absolutely insane, and now it's 65, which is absolutely awesome. And I think that was, and even like taking away the, I noticed that in this, I think it was the Summer Days update, like with the festival, they took away the option for paying for the trailer with star coins, and I feel like that was just little things like that really, because, sorry, 135 star coins to change a horse's name is absolutely diabolical, and I feel like them changing little things like that, the team actually making things more affordable in the game, it goes a huge way. I also think one thing they could do is changing the price of, you know, when you talk to John, the builder who stands outside some of the stables to add stalls to your home stable. I feel like if they made that cheaper, it would go a long, long way, and way more people would do it. Because I feel like right now that's what's holding me back. Because I already have 2 more of the boxes and I really want more. But I just can't justify paying, I think it's a total of like 900 star coins to completely, you know, to add, how many boxes is it? Like 6 boxes, 300 star coins per two boxes or something like that. And I think it's absolutely insane. Like, I really don't understand. I can't justify paying that. Like, it's not gonna happen. So I feel like if they just like halved it, or not even that, so it was, you know, 200 or something, I feel like that would already go a long way. And then I reckon they would make more money in return anyway, because more people would be doing it. Somebody also said that you can customize your home stable, and I have to say I completely agree with that. That's obviously not a hot take, that's just a favorite recent update. It's been a while, but I think the person was just getting back into Star Stable after a long pause. And yeah, that was one thing that shocked me when I came back. I was like, whoa, we can actually, you know, we have free reign to be doing that kind of stuff. I feel like it's absolutely awesome. And I feel like it's the same thing with how expensive some of the options are for editing or customizing your home stable. Like, during the week of the bazaar, once a month, they do like a 50% off type thing, or like 30% off, all like stable customizations or whatever. And I feel like that would just go such an insanely long way. These kinds of like promotional things really, really help. I thought it was really cool, I will say, that you could finally change your home stable. I absolutely love my home stable now, and I feel like that just makes it so much. Updates like that, you know what I mean? Updates like that make a huge difference in like kind of connecting with the community as like a large business, as a large corporation like Star Stable. They're obviously owned by somebody else, but that just kind of like rebuilds some of the relationship, because obviously they've been, you know, updating the, you know, the price of star coins has gone up and everything, and that obviously doesn't exactly gain you a lot of brownie points with the community. Those were all like the hot takes and all the hot takes and favorite updates and things. I guess I gave a few update suggestions too there, hey, that I had written down. My horse is what, like a level higher? Great, amazing. That didn't go that far, but it's fine. I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. I'm aware that it's gonna be a little bit late. I know that. Sorry about that. I know that it was also a little bit different. I hope it's okay. I hope you guys can tolerate me just like talking for however long this is gonna be straight. however many minutes straight. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye bye!